So this video is really just about some short guidance in how you can actually put your capital raising ahead of 90% of the other capital raisings out there. So here's 3 important action items that you can take, that you start taking over the next few months that can really set your standard above what most other companies are doing, but also really influence your own results. So the first one, number 1, add an investor relations tab to your website. Now, I learned this from one of our clients recently, has done this really well. In fact, they've been raising millions of dollars, and a lot of it's actually coming off their website, where they've had people that have basically just been subscribing interest in their opportunity, and then they introduce them to the person to have discussion about the investment opportunity, and then away they go going through the process. So first one, add an investor relations tab to your website. Now, for me personally, I think this is one of the biggest mistakes that I've made over the last few years by actually not having this on our website, right? Because I am missing out on capturing potential opportunity that is already going to one of the assets being our website, and I'm not creating an opportunity on them. So that's the first one. Now, what I'd recommend in that is that you can capture that interest on your website and then redirect them to your CRISP site. Now, the important reason why you'd actually do that is because of the way we work with the class order. It means you can actually utilize the class order as part of the process of them learning to get access to the information. So now the way I do that is you can send them to your CRISP deal room, send them to the high level one, which basically just has the high level pitch deck. And of course, you can ask, when they do request, you can sort of ask a bit more information before you let them into the room. But the most important part is you capture that registration of interest, and then you can send them out future updates about how your company is progressing and how it's actually doing. Second one, the goal I always say is that for you, if you're going through the capital raising process, or even if you're thinking about it, one of the key metrics you want to give yourself is get 50 people to your room in a 2 to 3 month period. Because as I said, this game is about momentum. It's about building interest. And then at some stage, it's got to become about creating the pressure to actually make that decision to come across the line and become involved in your capital raising. Now, this is very common, a process. It's used by brokers every single day. It's the IPO process. It's a private placement offer, that you see coming out through the markets. It's just you doing it in a more formal way. And of course, as a private company, it takes more time. But the most important part is if you give yourself the key target of getting 50 people into your deal room, then effectively what you're doing is you're setting yourself a benchmark to work towards over the next 2 to 3 months. That will ensure that you have momentum in the process. Now, if you are unable to raise capital from 50 people, there might be something significantly wrong either with your process or your offer, right? Because with those numbers, you absolutely should be raising investment. In fact, when we're working with companies, we let them know that the goal they want to get to is about a 1 in 10 successful conversion ratio, right? Depending on the amounts that they're investing, but that's what you really want to be looking at. Now, third one, right? Communicate with investors frequently, whether they be potential investors or your shareholders. Now, at a minimum, three to four times a year. Now, for me personally, I've been a lot more communicative with our ecosystem and with potential investors and with our current investors. And what I've learned as a format is that I found that if I was trying to just do the really perfect sort of, structured email that was a few pages long and so forth, it would take a lot more time for me to get it done. So what I've been doing is just been doing sort of 1 to 2 short paragraphs with updates. And for shareholders, I try and do it monthly. And then for the ecosystem, fortunately, we communicate fairly significantly, so people get to see the updates as far as what's happening with our company. So, for me, these are 3 simple things that you can start doing today that can make a long-term difference in your capital raising strategy. But most importantly for you, as I said, it's really about just setting in a practice and setting in a diligence about how you go about it. Now, sometimes you might be doing this not just to raise money, but also to create strategic opportunities as well. And we highly encourage companies to be doing that, because you don't know who is in your ecosystem or who is in your sphere of influence right now that has access to other opportunities or access to capital or access to commercial opportunities that you may not be communicating your updates with, right? Information allows people to take action, right? So, but the thing is, you've got to create that framework that facilitates that. So 3 important tips. 1, investor relations tab. 2, work to get 50 investors into your deal room within a 2 to 3 month period, effectively as fast as possible. And then 3, communicate with those investors at least 4 times a year, preferably short communications monthly. Hope that helps. Look forward to providing more videos shortly.